The Weight of the Rocks, a reflection for pastors by John Poitevin of Great Catholic Parishes. Think for a moment about the pockets of a coat. Deep pockets, sturdy ones, the kind you might trust to hold something important. Now imagine this. Every decision you make as a pastor, every personnel choice, every budget cut, every ministry situation that keeps you up at night, every hard conversation in your office. Imagine that each one of those is a small rock. Not a boulder, yet not a pebble. Think of a stone you might skip across a pond, smooth and cool in your palm. You hold it, you pray over it, you make the call, and then you slip it into your pocket. One rock is nothing. You barely feel it. You celebrate Mass, you preach, you shake hands after the liturgy, you sit in your next meeting. And that one decision hardly registers. That's the weight of ministry on a good day. Almost imperceptible. You were ordained for this. You said yes to this. But then comes another. A staff conflict that requires you to intervene. Into the pocket. A family angry about a decision you made. Into the pocket. A budget reality that forces you to say no to something good. Into the pocket. A couple whose marriage is unraveling. Into the pocket. A funeral for someone taken too soon. Into the pocket. A parishioner walking away from the church. Into the pocket. None of these rocks on their own are too much for you. That's the subtle part. Each one is manageable. Each one is survivable. You are, after all, a shepherd. You stand at the altar and hold mysteries in your hands. You listen to confessions that would crush other people. You walk with grief and doubt and addiction and despair. You do not scare easily. You do not break easily. So you keep reaching down, picking up the next stone, making the next decision, absorbing the next disappointment, and sliding it quietly into your pocket. Weeks pass, months pass, years sometimes. And then one day you notice, maybe long after your body noticed, that something feels different. Your step is heavier, your patience shorter, your homilies harder to prepare. Prayer feels more like a duty than an encounter. You sit down at the end of the day and it takes more effort than it used to just to rise again. To the untrained eye, it looks like fatigue, but it isn't just fatigue. It's the accumulated, compounded, rarely voiced weight of 1,000 small stones, 1,000 pastoral decisions, 1,000 moments where you carried what others could not. This is what no one fully explains when hands are laid upon your head. Pastoral leadership does not just ask for your skills. It asks for your heart. It asks for your nervous system. It asks for the part of you that absorbs grief, disappointment, conflict, moral complexity, and loneliness. And it asks for it day after day. And because you love God and your people, you give it. The rocks are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign that you cared, that you took seriously the souls entrusted to you, that you did not shrug off the burden when it was yours to bear. But here is what must be said clearly. Pockets have limits. People have limits. Even the deepest, most faithful, most sacrificial pastors have limits. And if you never reach into your pockets and set some of those stones down, not to abandon them, not to pretend the decisions didn't matter, but simply to release them into God's hands, then the weight will change you. It will narrow you. It will harden you. It will make you numb. So the invitation is simple, though not easy. Where can you put the rocks down? Is there a brother priest you can speak honestly with? A spiritual director who holds space for your soul? A counselor? A coach? A trusted friend? Is there time in adoration where you can allow yourself not to lead, not to fix, but simply to be a son before the Father? Is there a walk, a day off, a retreat you keep postponing? Is there grief that you've never allowed yourself to feel because everyone else needed you to be strong? You cannot shepherd well with pockets full of stones. You might even find yourself throwing one. Your parish does not need a hero weighed down and hardened. They need a pastor who is alive inside, a man who can still feel the weight of a single stone and honor it, and then place it into the hands of Christ. Release something today. You have carried enough.